I'll call this meeting to order. If we could have roll call, please.
Commissioner Hoffman,
Present.
Commissioner Asper, excuse, Commissioner Heinzerling,
Present.
Commissioner Lamore,
Present.
Commissioner Wenzel,
Present.
Commissioner Swartout,
Present.
Commissioner Moore,
Here.
Commissioner Levens,
Present.
quorum present.
We can now rise for the Pledge of Allegiance led by Commissioner Swartout. We now have our opening prayer, please.
God of love, we trust in you with all of our heart, and we lean not on our own understanding. We acknowledge you in all of our ways and in all of our meetings so that you will direct our paths. Father, we do not rely on ourselves for effective results, for we are only human and often make mistakes. It is you who knows all things, so Father, have your divine way in this meeting. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Amen. Now moving on to approval of agenda.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make the motion to approve the agenda as published with the exception under resolution special tributes presentations, item 9, that it be removed for the next regularly scheduled meeting on account that Mr. Westover's schedule doesn't permit him to attend this evening.
I'll make that second.
Moved by Levin, supported by Huffman. Are there any questions on the motion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Heinzerling,
Yes.
Commissioner Lamore,
Yes.
Commissioner Wenzel,
Yes.
Commissioner Swartout,
Yes.
Commissioner Moore,
Yes.
Commissioner Levens,
Yes.
Commissioner Hoffman,
Yes.
motion carries.
Next up is approval of minutes from the October 21 regular meeting. If I could get a motion, please.
I'll make the motion
Without
and
the
waive the reading.
Moved by Swartout, supported by Lamore.
Yes.
Any questions, corrections, comments on the minutes? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Commissioner Hoffman,
Yes.
Commissioner Heinzerling,
Yes.
Commissioner Lamore,
Yes.
Commissioner Wenzel,
Yes.
Commissioner Swartout,
Yes.
Commissioner Moore,
Yes.
Commissioner Levens,
Yes.
motion carries.
We now move into our first segment of public comment. Are there citizens who wish to address the board?
Mr. Chairman, Ned Berkey, give you a quick update on some ag issues that do affect farmers in Monroe County, sir. Two big issues in agriculture. One is Argentina. They're a big competitor of the U.S. in selling corn, soybeans. For example, they're number 3 in the world for exporting soybeans. U.S. is number 2. Brazil is number 1. The controversy is that the U.S. administration just bought $20 billion worth of pesos to prop up their economy, which is in trouble. And so the ag community is generally not very happy with that. They say, well, if you're going to support a competitor of ours, then you need to do something to support our farmers. So you have to be careful. Farm Bureau, for example, is the largest political organization in agriculture, and they've got to be very careful how they deal with the Secretary of Agriculture and others. So that's under the table. That's stirring the pot. The government shutdown with the USDA. A lot of farmers are counting on either government checks or selling of grain to pay bills. With the government shutdown, they're selling grain, and so the USDA is planning to reopen up some of the offices even later this week to take care of some of that issue. The Environmental Working Group is a group that I go to on their website every 2 or 3 years because they track which farmers get government money. So Monroe County, I'm like 1,013th on the list because I get some government money. But there are farmers in Monroe County that get millions of dollars. So I try to make sure that all of those people get serviced when I work for Michigan State. And a lot of farmers don't believe in using the government program, so you can't ignore those people either. A couple of smaller issues. New technology in agriculture just keeps changing all the time. We had two projects this year at the community college using biological products, not pesticides. Okay, one by a company named Phycoterra, based out of Arizona, Midwestern BioAg, and then actually a third one, UPL out of Brazil, on a new seed treatment for soybean cyst nematodes, which is the #1 pest in soybeans in Monroe County, Michigan, in the U.S. The biologicals are great. When they work, those companies get rich. When they don't work, they disappear. When I started in Extension 45 years ago, there was a compendium of non-traditional materials, a 3-ring notebook about that thick. And some of these biologicals recycle every few years. Now, of course, it's all on the web. And these two companies I just mentioned, their products didn't work this year. The UPL company from Brazil with this nematode seed treatment does look like it has tremendous potential for helping out farmers. Apps, I had somebody in church ask me the other day about an app for identifying weeds. So there's two, picture this, and ID weeds, one from Michigan State, one from University of Missouri. Penn State has a scab model for wheat. So we grow a lot of wheat here. It either goes down generally to Nabisco flour mill in Toledo, or it goes to Chelsea milling in Chelsea for Jiffy Mix. Nabisco makes 6 million pounds of wheat flour a day. It go to 12 bakeries in the eastern U.S. So they want quality wheat to make quality flour. And same with Jiffy, they only would take white wheat, but now they take red because when they sell to hospitals or prisons, they don't care if there's little red flakes in their corn muffins. So technology is important, and this Penn State scab model for wheat is also useful for rust in corn. It's the same disease. Fusarium head blight or scab is the same disease that causes rust in corn. So this technology is being adapted now even in Michigan for use in corn. So just some new things going on a couple of hot button issues in agriculture, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Thank you.
May it please the board, good evening, and thank you so much for having me. My name is Judge Cheryl Lohmeyer. I'm the Chief Judge of Probate Court and also the presiding judge of Juvenile. I am here this evening to urge the board to reconsider its vote not to pay our court-appointed attorneys for their work in the probate district and circuit courts. Court-appointed attorneys are not optional participants in our justice system. They are statutorily and constitutionally required to ensure that every individual, regardless of their financial means, receives fair and effective representation. In criminal cases, in matters involving children and families, and in guardianship and mental health proceedings, the law mandates that counsel be appointed. Without these attorneys, the courts cannot meet their constitutional obligations, and justice itself is compromised. These lawyers perform difficult, skilled, emotional, and essential work. As a probate court judge, I witnessed them representing some of our most vulnerable friends and neighbors. The young man with Downs or autism in need of a guardian to advocate for his needs, a grandmother with dementia who has been subject of financial exploitation, a paranoid schizophrenic who needs a steady hand to guide him through a deferral conference for mental health treatment, an adolescent child who has endured sexual abuse, a preschool child who faces removal from their parents' home into the foster care system because of their neglect, a domestic violence survivor who is braving the first volatile days of separation from her abuser. These attorneys serve with competence, dedication, and compassion. Their advocacy for indigents allows our courts to function efficiently and fairly, ensuring that every case is heard and resolved according to the law. To withhold or delay payment for their services is not only inequitable, it is contrary to the county's legal duty and to the principles of justice we all serve. These attorneys have fulfilled their obligations under the law. the county must now fulfill their own obligations by compensating them fully and promptly. I respectfully ask the board to reverse its prior decision and authorize payment to these court-appointed attorneys. Doing so will reaffirm Monroe County's commitment to the justice system that is both effective and honorable. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Some of you know me and some of you don't, so I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Sean Myers. I am a homeowner in this county. I've been nearly a lifelong resident. In fact, I live in Jay Heinzerling's district. I graduated with honors from Jefferson High School, Monroe Community College, Madonna University, and the University of Detroit Mercy School of Law. I'm the elected treasurer of the Monroe County Bar Association. I'm also this county's delegate to the State Bar of Michigan Representative Assembly. I also serve this community as a well-respected criminal defense attorney. I provide indigent defense services through the Michigan Indigent Defense Commission to the most vulnerable people in this community. You might be surprised to learn that I also volunteer as a defense attorney in the juvenile court. Last fiscal year, I had 6 juvenile cases, and I've never billed the county for a single one of them. I'm personally dedicated to protecting the rights of everyone in our community, especially the poor. And I have to say, the recent words and actions of members of this board have been nothing less than frightening to me. It is affecting my work performance. Last meeting, 4 of you, is my mic working? Last meeting, 4 of you voted against paying not just my bills, but the bills of every single contractor in this county. And first, despite his no vote, I want to thank my commissioner, Jay Heinzerling, for taking the time to speak with me on the phone for over an hour after your last vote. I commend you for being willing to talk about public issues with your constituents. That said, I find all of your conduct at the last meeting reprehensible. I find it impossible to believe that 4 of you voted not to pay all of the county's bills without having any discussion on the issue during the open meeting. I don't believe that happened without some of you agreeing to do it before the meeting, and that is so wrong. The funny thing about all of this is that y'all didn't even have a good reason for doing what you did. My understanding is that according to articles in the media quoting some of you, is that 4 of you voted no because you're upset that one attorney on the MIDC appointed list billed 3 months of work that they did at one time within 1 month. You saw a big number and decided that it must somehow be fraudulent. I can understand why without context that billing that way might seem strange to you, but I'm here to tell you that that billing is totally normal for an attorney. For example, 7 or 8 years ago, before MIDC existed, the judges were the ones who appointed indigent criminal cases to attorneys. And do you know when the attorneys were allowed to bill on those cases? At sentencing. That means if a case took a year to do, they were billing on work that they did a year ago. There's nothing weird or strange about an attorney billing for work that they did within a single quarter at the end of that quarter. And furthermore, there is no MIDC policy or procedure or even a law in this state that requires attorneys to bill their work monthly or lose their pay. You all just made that up if that's what you think. Also, at least one member of this board wants to fine that attorney 5 or 10% of their bill because he billed 3 months at one time. That's illogical and it's reprehensible. But I want you to know that I think that idea comes from ignorance and not understanding the facts instead of bad intent. Even though several of you were involved in that decision, 4 of you specifically, I'm concerned that you, Henry Levens, are causing this. I firmly believe that this board has allowed the rest of you to allow Henry to manipulate you into believing that we're doing something wrong. I'm here to tell you that we're not. I want to thank you for your comments in the Toledo Blade last week, because to me, you've made it obvious that you have an agenda here. According to a reporter, you agreed that refusing to pay the county's bills was intended to destabilize our indigent defense service in this county. You said that's the point when you were asked about that. With words and actions like that, sir, whether you know it or not, you are damaging your reputation in the legal community, in this community. Since you refused to pay us, I want the board to understand that not a single defense attorney on the MIDC roster is withdrawn from a case. Not a single one of us has quit the roster. We have all continued to do our duty, showing up for work every day, representing the needy, currently without pay. And I'm honored to be serving along the other defense attorneys in this community. On top of that, Mr. Levens, you also told the Toledo Blade that you would be voting no on every indigent defense bill, including mine, until we have a public defender's office in this county. While I think that that is a bad idea for a variety of reasons that I will explain in future public comments to this board, I'm shocked that you would make that decision without first reviewing a feasibility study as to whether or not that's even a good idea. You don't have all the facts, and the problem is that you keep making decisions without the facts in front of you. It's just shameful, to be honest. For as long as you all refuse to pay my bills, I will be at every single county commission meeting. If you ever have questions about my bills, I'm here. You can ask me. I will come up and testify if you ask me to. I also am going to be spending time in the future explaining to you all about the wonderful things that the attorneys in MIDC are doing and try to explain to you why our current appointment system truly remains the best system in this county. And I'll save that for my comments at the end of this meeting. Thank you.
Before you start, we're being very generous with the 3-minute rule, but if you would just take that into consideration, I'd appreciate it.
I will respect that. My name's Harry Mijas. I am an attorney. I've been an attorney for over 20 years. I'm an honors graduate of the University of Michigan. I take cases here along with primarily federal docket that I maintain in Detroit, Bay City, and Flint. Aside from that, I'm also the co-chair of education for the Criminal Defense Attorneys of Michigan, and I am on their board. What we do here as attorneys, I think, is critical to the community. Obviously, we look to exonerate people who are falsely accused so that we can redirect the police to find someone who actually did the crime. But for our clients who have done things wrong, we direct them to help. We get them the mental health that they need. I just found, with the help of the mental health unit, probation officer, a bed for a seriously mentally ill man accused of a serious crime. Prison was not appropriate. We were able to get him help. We were able to get drug treatment for people who need rehabilitation, not punishment. We're able to get domestic violence counseling so that families can stay together, so that children can be provided for. What we do is essential. I understand concerns of how the MIDC works. I would encourage you to go to an MIDC meeting. I can introduce you to several of the commissioners if you wish. You can ask questions. You can express your concerns if you believe that the system is broken and not worth it. I would also add this. There's a cadre of experienced attorneys like me that come down here. And we take it upon ourselves to also try to mentor younger attorneys, to show them that there's more than just being hell, fire, and brimstone at a podium, that you're there to counsel as long as be an attorney, to help, to find rehabilitation, to create alternatives to raw punishment. We work hard, we're conscientious, we believe in the cause. For me, I grew up in Southwest Detroit in River Rouge. I was one of those disadvantaged kids from a family that didn't have resources. I had friends who were railroaded by the system. I do this because I believe in it. I also do this to provide for my family, to provide for my employees. If there is a billing that you don't care for, I don't think it's appropriate to hold the rest of the attorneys who do the work that we do hostage over that, or for that matter, the contractors to this county in order to accomplish that. That would be unjust. As to the concerns about billings, I will echo what Mr. Myers said. I've submitted $80,000 billings because at the federal system, we used to do things at the end of the case. In the circuit courts where I represent people on appeals in the federal system, I still present my bills at the end of the case. It is being reformed because it's been deemed unjust to us as attorneys to have to wait for a year, 2 years, 3 years to get paid and essentially work for free during that time. There is no time period when we should bill, monthly, weekly. Usually we're told every $5,000 to $10,000. It racks up. But there's a system to review to see that these billings are correct, they're ethical, they're done in a timely fashion, they're done appropriately. And I believe that system's in place. I know that people who run the MIDC office here are conscientious about their work. They're excellent at what they do. They're experienced. I have no reason to believe that there was anything unethical. And it's also my information that even then, there are resources to have those bills reviewed by outside people. The safeguards are there. The rails are there. And even in theory, if one person's wrong, it shouldn't affect the rest of us. Not for services that we do that are critical to this community, that are essential to the administration of justice. So I would encourage you to reconsider your position from 2 weeks ago. Thank you.
Are there any other citizens who wish to address the board during this segment of public comment? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion to go into closed session to discuss collective bargaining.
Support.
Moved by Lamore, supported by Levens. Any questions on the motion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hoffman?
Yes.
Commissioner Heinzerling?
Yes.
Commissioner Lamore?
Yes.
Commissioner Wenzel?
Yes.
Commissioner Swartout?
Yes.
Commissioner Moore?
Yes.
Commissioner Levens?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Just for your information, we're going to move into the 2 rooms over so that you have a place to sit during closed session. So you can stay here. More to go back into open session. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hoffman?
Yes.
Commissioner Heinzerling?
Yes.
Commissioner Lamore?
Yes.
Commissioner Wenzel?
Yes.
Commissioner Swartout?
Yes.
Commissioner Moore?
Yes.
Commissioner Levens?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, I likewise offer motion that we authorize the bargaining team to continue negotiations pursuant to the parameters discussed in closed session.
Second.
Moved by Levin, supported by Lamore. Any questions on the motion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Commissioner Heinzerling?
Yes.
Commissioner Lamore?
Yes.
Commissioner Wenzel?
Yes.
Commissioner Swartout?
Yes.
Commissioner Moore?
No.
Commissioner Levens?
Yes.
Commissioner Hoffman?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Now moving into finance matters, item number 1, payment of the October 22nd, 2025 accounts payable current claims report in the amount of $1,333,431.62. Could I get a motion, please?
Make the motion?
Second.
Moved by Swartout, supported by Lamore. Are there questions, comments on the motion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Commissioner Lamore?
Yes.
Commissioner Wenzel?
Yes.
Commissioner Swartout?
Yes.
Commissioner Moore?
Yes.
Commissioner Levens?
No.
Commissioner Hoffman?
No.
Commissioner Heinzerling?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item number 2, payment of the November 5, 2025 accounts payable current claims report in the amount of $2,427,003.95. Could I get a motion before we hear from Ms. Meyer? Moved by Lamore.
Support.
Supported by Swartout, and I'll turn it over to Sue.
Thank you. Page number 1, vendor number 10190, Argent Institutional Trust Company, scheduled interest payment and paying agent fee on drain debt. Vendor number 31822, Courtview Justice Solutions, it's annual support for probate court software. On page number 2, vendor number 70351, Gordon Food Services, Inc., it's grocery items for Fairview and Youth Center and museum program items. Page number 3, vendor number 130899, Mercy Memorial Hospital Corporation, it's contractual family planning services provided through the Health Department. Page number 4, vendor number 192359, Springline Excavating, drain project costs paid through the Drain Commission. And on page number 7, vendor number 903817, Sail and Bean Trucking and Excavating, it's also drain project costs paid through the Drain Commission, and that's the end of my list.
Any questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Commissioner Wenzel?
Yes.
Commissioner Swartout?
Yes.
Commissioner Moore?
Yes.
Commissioner Levens?
No.
Commissioner Hoffman?
No.
Commissioner Heinzerling?
Yes.
Commissioner Lamore?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 3, letter dated October 29, 2025, from Mr. Jesse Stanford, Monroe County Treasurer, submitting the cash and investment report for the quarter ended September 30, 2025. Could I get a motion to accept and place on file the report quarter ending September 30, 2025?
Make the motion.
I'll second that motion.
Moved by Heinzerling, supported by Huffman. Now I'll turn it over to Jesse.
Thank you, Commissioners. Good evening. I'll try to be quick with this. This is quarter 3, the report. As you can see, the general fund was split between 10 different financial institutions, which shows our diversity of the fund and the other funds. The Federal Reserve September meeting caused interest rates to drop again, 0.25%. And they also, even though it's not on my report, they were cut again in October, another 0.25%. So that basically brings down the amount of interest that you can get for a typical investment or CD with those cuts. Additionally, you'll notice a higher balance on this report versus, I believe, quarter 2. We have a lot of county operating money that comes in quarter 3 because of the county operating from the local tax bills. So a lot of that money comes in around September 14th at the deadline for the locals to pay, so we get it around then. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer them.
Any questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Commissioner Swartout,
Yes.
Commissioner Moore,
Yes.
Commissioner Levens,
Yes.
Commissioner Hoffman,
Yes.
Commissioner Heinzerling,
Yes.
Commissioner Lamore,
Yes.
Commissioner Wenzel.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 4 is an update on the status and development of the 26-27 budget from Mr. Michael Bosanic, Administrator, Chief Financial Officer, for information purposes only.
Thank you, Grace. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, members of the audience. So our update this evening is going to talk briefly about what's taken place since we last presented an update on October 21st. Talk about any outstanding matters we have with offices, departments, and any budget details. We have balanced all of the major and select special revenue funds, and I have a couple of graphs and slides to show you that. The importance there is where there's impact in terms of the general fund transfer in, so that's a expense to the general fund, and it shows as revenue into these special revenue funds. And then, of course, we'll have the updated preliminary 2026 and 2027 budget totals. I'll have a point where I'll ask the board, you're going to have to make a decision on a matter so that we can continue with our work. Then we'll talk about what's left to complete the task as we prepare a final recommended budget, and then we need to confirm the schedule ahead. So what's taken place since October 21? We've been updating, verifying amounts and rates throughout the budget, making sure we've gone through everything. Sue and I spent a couple hours one day just looking down through the 200-plus lines of revenues. We made a number of adjustments there. Same thing on the lines of expenditures. There's 1,400-plus lines of expenditure in both the general fund and all the special revenue budgets that are out there. We're generally in agreement with all of the departments. We've had a couple of follow-up meetings. We're in agreement with any outstanding issues. Not everybody got everything, their side, our side, so to speak. But I think we're in a good position, Mr. Chairman and members, in terms of developing this budget. We have since rebalanced all 55 of the separate funds that we manage here. Those are revenues and expenditures, of course, must equal each other. And then, of course, we're reviewing to make sure there's no impact to the general fund in terms of any contribution there. And then, of course, we've totaled to the bottom line. So we always like to talk about revenues first. What resources do we have available in our budget? This is the grand levy prepared by the Equalization Department. This year, the total at $279 million is slightly higher, a little over $15 million than the prior year. So, we see that, we'll see it in the next slide in terms of taxable value. But you can see the various library, the combined township, city, the percentage of the pie that's there, along with the county combined. When we say county combined, that means the county general operating millage. It includes Commission on Aging, Fairview. They all roll up, and that's where that combined 16% comes from. We also like to talk about, the source of the revenue in terms of the class of taxable value throughout the county. This represents that. Our total taxable value is just under $8 billion for the county. As we move along in economic development opportunities, we hope to increase that. But I think the important part of this slide is that the residential class of property, 65%, carries most of the load when it comes to millages and funding essential government programs. We certainly want to be able to move this commercial and industrial percentages higher so that we get additional contribution for essential public services from those two sectors of our taxable value pie. As we look now at the general fund, our projection for 2026, our revenues are $62.7 million, and you can see the various sources where that revenue is made up. The largest piece of that pie is property taxes. That's 64%. And then you see all the other smaller slices of the pie. The next largest is the intergovernmental revenues at 13%, which is right in here. That's made up of state and federal grants, a personal property tax reimbursement from the state of Michigan, and our revenue sharing. The next one I want to point out is this local unit contribution. So that is schools, local units of government, primarily who contract with the sheriff's office for law enforcement officers. The township relationship is an 80-20. They pay 80%, county 20% of that officer. And in the schools, it's 67%, 33%. So that's a little bit on the overall slice of the revenue pie for the general fund. Here we look at expenditures. The expenditures are more than our revenues, and that'll show up a little bit clearer in another slide. Full-time wages is the biggest piece of our pie when it comes to this expenditure grouping. Fringes are next, and then you see the other expenditures throughout, and all these are rolled up from the various, the 1,400 plus line items of the general fund, and just summarize it here for you. This is the expenditures just shown in a different way. This is by function. Public safety, obviously, from this slide, shows you that it's the largest component of our general fund, and then you see staff and administrative agencies. If you look at the front of the budget each time, we have the summary of revenues and expenditures, and we group these by category. All we're doing is rolling those up and showing them in this pie chart here. This is more or less the same information, but just shown in a different way, where we magnify the importance of public safety, and consistently from one board to another over the years, making public safety a priority for safety in our community, and it's represented in this bar chart. Here we show the general fund transfers out to the select special revenue funds. It's not all of the special revenue funds, but we always focus on these because we believe these are most important in delivering services in our community. So the Friend of the Court, Public Health, Inmate Dormitory, Central Dispatch, Indigent Defense Fund, and then the Child Care Fund. What the blue bar represents is the total budget, and the red bar, and the blue bar is the general fund contribution that goes into those. So these select special revenue funds are $29.1 million, with 28% of their total resources provided from general fund support. That's pretty consistent with what we had in the prior year, where it was 29.2 with 24%. I wouldn't be too concerned about the percentages because they're going to fluctuate based upon the total of the numbers and where the general fund is in total as well. This slide includes the general fund, and you can see the general fund is the largest fund. It's the chief operating fund of the organization, most important in terms of our overall financial sustainability, and so extra focus on the general fund, and then we just show the other ones in a different format here. So today, our revenues in the 2026 budget are $62.7 million, and our expenditures are $64.3 million. So we have a shortfall of $1.6 million. This changed a little bit from when we were here on October 21st. We had a shortfall of $1.46 million, but again, as we worked some additional details with our departments, we reviewed all the various line items for expenditure and revenue. We ended up with a slightly different number and a larger deficit. We also project where we're going to be in 2027. We don't like to do things in a single silo and in a single year, so we want to kind of have that crystal ball and tell us what does the next year look like. Now, these are not as detailed as where we're at in the current year budget. I say current year 2026. We don't have everything built into there, but we look at the major revenues, we look at the major expenditures and make sure we've got that covered. So, 2026 is what it is. 2027 doesn't look as bad, but a lot of time between now and 2027. So, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners, the question before you is in the prior slide. We showed $1 million transfer out to central dispatch to cover a lowered 911 surcharge to move from the $2 per month per device to $1.44. And so what we need the board to decide for us this evening is, do you want us to continue with that model? And if it is, then we will continue it and we'll go back to where we're at right here with the $1.6 million shortfall. If you decide to keep the status where it is and maintain the $2 surcharge, then we're simply dropping off $1 million of that shortfall, and we're at $624,000 shortfall. It does make a little bit of a difference now also in 2027 if we don't do that, because then we show a surplus, which is different than the prior year where we showed a $363,000 shortfall. So I'll pause there. I've got a few other slides, but maybe, or I can finish. It's up to you, and we can come back to this.
I have a quick comment on that, if you don't mind. Most of us were here when we originally took out that loan and essentially for those radios, and we made a statement that that was going to be a temporary millage to pay off those radios. And those radios have been paid off. And I can't remember the amount. Maybe it was $5-6 million. So now what we've done is we've just continued the millage and allow that surcharge to fund the 911 operations center, when in fact that truthfully should be coming out of our annual budget. I would like to see a repeal of the it's not a millage, but the surcharge altogether. That $2 was never on there previous to 6 years ago. We instituted it so we could pay off those radios. They've been paid off. I think the taxpayer should get the relief. That's just my opinion.
Vice Chairman Levens.
Really quick, Mr. Bosonic, what was the budget surplus carryover from last year? Approximately. I mean, I know you have a good memory, but I'm not expecting it to the nearest 100,000.
It's an anomaly. It's skewed because of how we applied an accounting treatment for the American Rescue Plan funds for use for law enforcement. We essentially covered it, funded it, and it allowed us to free up money. Sue, I want to say is 9 million about right?
Okay, so 9 million is a large number. What was it the year before? It's not traditionally 9 million. It's usually right about.
It's somewhat, it fluctuates, a lot of things go into that. 2 million, $1.9 million, I can get that to you, but we've had a steady run of the last 16 years. We've always generated an operating surplus.
So the clumsy point that I'm getting to, and in tandem with Commissioner Moore's comments, the approximate shortfall that we're experiencing for this preliminary budget mirrors to the surplus that we traditionally have. I mean, for instance, there are certain departments, for instance, the Sheriff's Department, that is currently staffed for a number of deputies more than are employed, and that's where these surpluses come from. And it would be my suggestion to get us, past this surplus that we at least mirror, and this is just a proposal, the reality of a department or two, because we can always come back and amend it later if they, hire more individuals, for instance, deputies, and that would get us through this budget, and we meet twice a month. Does that make sense? So what I'm saying is, I agree with Commissioner Moore about.
Well, maybe that's why it doesn't make sense to me.
Okay. All right. So.
Okay, go again now that I know we
I
agree.
don't appreciate your civility, as I've indicated earlier. So I would say that that this year we discontinue that 911 surcharge, and that we look, because I know for a certain fact, because I looked at into it earlier today. I'm being a little bit clumsy because I don't want to misstate the number, but right now I believe we're staffed 10 more deputies than we currently have employed. I think it's actually more than 10, that we fix this current budget shortfall, because we'll probably have a surplus again, by reflecting who we have actually employed. That would cover this stopgap, and as it develops, people come out of the academy or whatever, we address it, and by that time, we'd have the surplus. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And then that gets us, through January.
I need some clarity. Did I hear you say to eliminate the 911 surcharge completely? If you do that, then, I don't have the state 911 surcharge numbers in front of me, but as we're showing right now, the shortfall, and you would essentially be adding, in this graph, so we're showing the $1 million general fund transfer in, which is now reflected in that bottom line. The total budget for central dispatch is $3.9 million. So we need to transfer in an additional $2.9 million if the surcharge was eliminated. And so you can take the $2.9 million and add that to the projected 2026 shortfall.
I think it's closer to 2.5 because there are some state funds.
Oh,
that come
okay,
in. So
okay,
about
that's-
300,000-ish, 330-ish, so 2.5-ish.
All right, yeah, I said that and then I forgot to bring the number forward. So yeah, about $2.5 million.
Well, it's just that my issue has been when we originally talked about the surcharge, it was supposed to be temporary. And like most government agencies, once revenue starts coming in and we become accustomed to it, departments expand, things are purchased, we hire new people, and we go, oh, we've got that funding there coming in from the taxpayer via a surcharge. It was supposed to be a 5 to 6 year surcharge. What year are we on now? Are we on the 7th year? We fully paid off the radios, correct? Yeah. So, when I have constituents come back to me, which I've had one or two, it's not like, you have to really be abreast of the situation to understand what's going on. And they're going, so when's that surcharge dropping off that you posted on Facebook 7 years ago that was supposed to be temporary? And I go, well, I'll try working on it. And now we go, well, I don't know if we could take away the surcharge. We've got $2.5 million there that we'd have to pay. Well, that was our responsibility well before the surcharge was to fund 911. So I'm not seeing now a valid excuse saying, oh, well, it's $2.5 million. What are we going to do? It was our responsibility for the surcharge. I think we should take care of it after and relieve the taxpayer. That's just my opinion.
I'll let you mull that over and I'll continue on.
Continue on, please.
Get caught back up. Okay, so we need to prepare for a public hearing on the budget. So we'll be completing the recommended budget. Of course, we need to file and post it on our website, make it available in the clerk's office and a few other places. We need to prepare a budget resolution, which we're already working on that. We're essentially done with all the departments. We'll be distributing their final budget workbooks out to them ahead of the public hearing, well ahead of that. Legal notice is required for the public hearing at least 6 days prior to that. So those things all need to take place. And so this brings me to this slide. So this is the remaining calendar. We're here tonight giving you an update. We posed the question about determining the 911 surcharge reduction. We still have another regularly scheduled meeting. If my math is right, today's the 4th, so in 14 days, we have another one on the 18th. But the chairman sent out a communication proposing some alternative dates. And so we just really need to know what needs to be done in terms of the board's schedule so we can back into these other things that we have to do to schedule the public hearing. So we can give another presentation on the budget at your next meeting in November, and unless there's anything still outstanding, we would then post the notice to the newspaper. We'd make the information available, and then you just need to determine when you would like to schedule the public hearing in your meetings in December, either on your regular schedule or alternative dates. And so maybe you want to address that first, and then you can answer what direction you want to give us, or you can tell us at the next meeting. I mean, they're big numbers, but we can adjust things quite easily in terms of it's only relegated. It's not like we're taking something and blowing it through the entire general fund and it hits all the special revenue funds, it's really only the relationship between the general fund and the central dispatch fund as to how you want to treat the surcharge revenues and/or the transfer in from a general fund if you reduce that. Either reduce it or eliminate it.
Does he need that authority tonight?
Well, you know, if Vice Chair Levens is prepared to make a motion, we could entertain it tonight. I would prefer holding off, and if the board agrees with the change in the next meeting date to be November 13th, that wouldn't be that long off anyways, and we would have more exact numbers on exactly what we're looking at. Plus, it would give us an opportunity to have some discussion rather than acting on it tonight. So, I mean, that would be my preference, but if somebody wants to offer a motion tonight.
Would Mr.
I wasn't asking for any action on the budget tonight, just to be clear. I was just reiterating what I had stated 2 weeks ago.
I appreciate that.
I think we should come back to the 13th, you know, based on the proposed schedule. And on the 13th, Mr. Bosonic, if we could have some modeling that encompasses, you know, Commissioner Moore's.
For a meeting, isn't the 13th a Thursday? Because I'll be out of town.
We're trying to do it to work around your deer hunting.
Well, I won't. I'll be out of town for that too.
So
We'll make it work. We'll figure it
So
out.
we can send out some exhibits before the 13th. That gives you time to like think about it before the lights are shining on you and I'm handing something to you or putting it on the screen and you have to decide right then and there. So we can do a couple of different models. So model one would be the reduction that we have, in which we already know, which is the $1 million, and that's reducing the surcharge from $2 to $1.44. If you want it reduced completely, we can show you what that model looks like, knowing that there's still some residual revenue from the 911 surcharge, the state surcharge money that we get. So that would be the second model, which would be simply to eliminate it. Is there any other consideration, you know, down to $1 or something like that, that the board would like to see that as well?
Commissioner Swartout.
I think before we decide to completely eliminate it, we should find out the lifetime of the equipment if we're going to have to start replacing part of it over the next 2 or 3 years.
It's ongoing. Every year there's capital tech, you know, 911 as much as anybody else in our organization who depends on technology. 911, and I do this because I know Donna's sitting there, they depend, you know, they can't have downtime. They can't be, well, we have to wait a couple of weeks to replace the computer because of this reason or that reason. They've got to have uptime. They've got to have reliable equipment all the time in terms of a 911 center. So it is an ongoing process. It's not, well, every 5 years we've got to re-up something. Yeah, there is a cycle for all the public safety, mobile and portable radios for every public, you know, there's 1,200 radios that we replace across the entire county, and we use, oftentimes the county advances that money and it's paid back over 5 years in a loan payment back to central dispatch. So we've done a lot of creative things in terms of financing, but those things are going to come back up on that cycle again.
So what you're saying is this millage is, a surcharge rather, I keep saying millage, the surcharge may perennially be necessary because electronics, it isn't something that has a guaranteed useful life. It's constantly cycling in real time.
Well, that's what my concern was.
The 911 surcharge is essentially that funding vehicle for our 911 center that serves every emergency dispatch from every public first responder agency that's out there, from the road commission to the state police, sheriff's office, city police. Everything rolls through central dispatch, ambulance. And so, you know, they're the nerve center of all the calls that come in. And so the 911 surcharge replaces all of that equipment, staffs and funds, all of their personnel, benefits. It runs the entire thing. And so that's why you've never seen, since the surcharge has been instituted, any transfer in from the general fund. The surcharge fully supports all the operations in the 911 center. Now, having noted that, there are times when, you know, Donna comes and says, look, we've got this capital need. We don't have enough, you know, kind of in our budget next year. You know, can we get an advance on that? And so, yeah, we advance that. The board's done that where, yeah, we'll do that and then just pay that back over a couple of years, and we've shown that model. And we have to show that each year when the surcharge comes before this board. We also have to show it to the 911 state board in terms of what's your budget, what's it look like, revenues and expenditures. So to your question, Vice Chairman Levens, it has been the funding source for the entire 911 center.
And it's directly associated with that service it provides. I mean, it's a surcharge on phones that connects to 911 services. And I remember Donna's reports that most of the 911 calls now, landlines are going the way of buggy whips.
So from a historical context, the board debated the pros and cons of a millage to support the 911 center when we were the general fund was really having trouble supporting those needs. They were getting in line with everybody else in terms of priority for funding, staffing, and equipment. They debated whether the millage was the appropriate vehicle to provide funds to run central dispatch, or a 911 surcharge, which was more, call it user-based, on a phone. What are you going to do with the phone? You're going to call 911 versus the value of your property. What's the correlation there? Some people who own property have never called 911. And to your point, landlines have gone away. So that's why the board went the route of, the 911 surcharge on telephones on a per phone, per month basis. And it did start at 2 because we had significant, there were significant needs that had been piling up over a number of years, and they had to be met. First off was all the portable and mobile radios for all of the first responders. So that's why we're at a surcharge and not a millage, not a property tax to support the 911 center.
Before we maxed it out at 2 for the financing of the equipment, how was the 911 department? How was it funded?
Before the surcharge, there was a combination of state 911 fees that came in, as well as transfer in from the general fund. General fund was supporting it.
And what year did that end? Was that 2018-19, right around the time we?
You're stumping me.
Oh no, I'm not trying to stump you.
No,
I'm
no,
trying
no,
to make sure that I have my information correct.
I don't know, Sue. How's your memory?
'Cause
Donna, do you?
So correct me.
17.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. We went from state funded and general fund to a surcharge, and
Right.
Under the reason of to pay off $6 million worth of radios, but now it's fully being funded by that.
Right.
That's my point.
Well, it was both of those, Commissioner. It was both the needs that had been pent up for technology and equipment in the center, as well as struggling to be able to fund the 911 center. A lot of these were taking place in the context where the county didn't have the financial strength that it has today.
Sure.
That's why that's why there was a Fairview millage. The county couldn't fund Fairview and law enforcement and all the other needs in the courts at that time. Same with the museum and the millage for the museum. These all came to be when the county was in pretty difficult financial straits. And these were, call them off-ramps, if you will, to find alternative sources of funding to support those important programs, because the county general fund was just not able to do it at that time. Now, fast forward to today, I'm not going to tell you that we're not in a good, strong financial position, but we're also showing you that we have a projected deficit for next year. Do we have resources? Yeah, we have $45 million of unreserved, undesignated fund balance. But, as a financial officer, that's not a sustainable model. You just keep spending our reserves to plug holes. And the holes are going to get bigger if that's the avenue and practice that we're going to follow. Now, your treasurer was just here, and he talked about the collections that were coming in. From the time our fiscal year starts, January 1, until the treasurer's office starts bringing in receipts, we've got to use all of our cash reserves to pay all the operations. And you saw on the claims report tonight, you had 2. One was $2.4 million, one was $1.3 million. We've got to have the money to pay all those claims and all the other operations of this organization until September, like late August, when the tax receipts start rolling in. So cash flow and having cash reserves to be able to, manage the operation of this organization is awfully important. And so when we start draining down, maybe I shouldn't say drain, when we start pulling down, whether it's a planned use of reserves or otherwise, just keep that in the back of your mind as to where's it going to lead us to. I don't want to dig a hole that, boy, that's a really deep hole to get out of. Now what are we going to do? I mean, you can always reinstate the 911 surcharge.
I would just look at it the other way. I would say maybe finance should have kept in mind that one day this surcharge could go away and plan accordingly for how that organization and how that department is spending. That's the way I would look at it. Go, this is temporary. We've always funded this organization this way. This was supposed to be 5 or 6 years. One day we might not have this money. We should plan accordingly. But now it sounds like we're saying, oh, well, it's $2.5 million and we don't want to pull it from the general and, we've got to have money on hand. I get all that, but I'm not saying that, that's not the fault of the commissioners or the taxpayers. One last question really quick. How'd you get to the 141 for the reduction?
144.
Or 144? Why that number?
That was just the $1 million.
Okay.
What does the $1 million equate to that? And I think, your comments, I'll take your comments for, as they are, Commissioner Moore. I think the challenge in terms of a financial plan doesn't have a cliff. There may be a phased approach to get to where we want to go, and maybe the $1 million is the phased approach, and we see what the second year looks like, rather than just eliminate the 911 surcharge altogether. That's a funding challenge.
I wouldn't want that. It would have to be phased out if we did. So I'm done. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
Thank you.
All set, Mr. Chairman?
We're good. Thank
Cause
you.
enough trouble? I can sit down now?
No, we're fine. Thank you.
All right. I turned it off.
Next, we'll move into the consent agenda. Item 1, approval of non-claims. Letter A, check register dated October 24, 25, in the amount of $576,947.63. Letter B, check register dated October 31, 2025, in the amount of $340,508.40. Could I get a motion?
I'll second that.
Moved by Levens, supported by Huffman. Are there any questions on the motion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Commissioner Levens,
Yes.
Commissioner Hoffman,
Yes.
Commissioner Heinzerling,
Yes.
Commissioner Lamore,
Yes.
Commissioner Wenzel,
Yes.
Commissioner Swartout,
Yes.
Commissioner Moore.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Next, under communications, item 1, operations committee, report of committee chairman from November 4th tonight meeting. There was a letter dated October 22, 2025 from the Honorable Michael Brown, First District Court, requesting additional funding for 4 years of prior service credit for the new full-time attorney magistrate candidate. This request will require an additional general fund allocation of up to $1,645 for 2025 and $15,104 for 2026. Could I get a motion?
I'll make the
Make that
motion.
motion.
Moved by Swartout, supported by Huffman. Are there questions on this motion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Commissioner Hoffman,
Yes.
Commissioner Heinzerling,
Yes.
Commissioner Lamore,
Yes.
Commissioner Wenzel,
Yes.
Commissioner Swartout,
Yes.
Commissioner Moore,
Yes.
Commissioner Levens.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item number 2, letter dated October 21, 2025, from the Honorable Amanda Eicher, District Court Judge in Sobriety Court, requesting confirmation of acceptance for a grant award from the State Court Administrative Office for the grant period of October 1, 2025 through September 30, 2026, for funding of the Sobriety Court in the amount of $40,000 with a general fund contribution in the total amount of $240. The county contribution of $40 provides for payroll, processing costs that cannot be provided by the grant, $159 to cover training, lodging, and mileage. Expenses also not covered by the grant, and $5 to cover membership fees that are not covered by the grant. An additional appropriation of $149 would be required in 2025, with the balance of $55 requested to be included in the 26 budget. Could I get a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Lamore, supported by Levens. Are there questions on this motion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Commissioner Swartout,
Yes.
Commissioner Moore,
Yes.
Commissioner Levens,
Yes.
Commissioner Hoffman,
Yes.
Commissioner Heinzerling,
Yes.
Commissioner Lamore,
Yes.
Commissioner Wenzel.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item number 3, letter dated October 21, 2025, from the Honorable Amanda Eicher, District Court Judge of Mental Health Recovery Court, requesting confirmation of acceptance for a grant award from the State Court Administrative Office for the grant period of October 1, 25 through September 30, 26 for funding of the Mental Health Recovery Court in the amount of $185,336 with a local contribution of $1,132 to provide for payroll processing costs and travel costs that cannot be provided by the grant. An additional appropriation of up to $181 would be required in 25, with a balance of $951 requested to be included in the 25 budget. Could I get a motion?
So moved.
I'll second that.
Moved by Lamore, supported by Huffman. Are there questions on this motion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Commissioner Heinzerling,
Yes.
Commissioner Lamore,
Yes.
Commissioner Wenzel,
Yes.
Commissioner Swartout,
Yes.
Commissioner Moore,
Yes.
Commissioner Levens,
Yes.
Commissioner Hoffman.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item number 4, letter dated October 21, 2025, from the Honorable Michael Brown, First District Court Chief Judge, requesting confirmation of acceptance for a grant award from the State Court Administrative Office for the grant period of October 1, 2025 through September 30, 2026 for funding of the Veterans Treatment Court in the amount of $35,840 with a general fund contribution in the amount of $382. An additional appropriation of up to $23 will be required in 2025 with the balance of $359 requested to be included in the 2026 budget. Could I get a motion?
Make the motion.
Moved by Swartout, supported by Heinzerling. Any questions on the motion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Commissioner Lamore,
Yes.
Commissioner Wenzel,
Yes.
Commissioner Swartout,
Yes.
Commissioner Moore,
Yes.
Commissioner Levens,
Yes.
Commissioner Hoffman,
Yes.
Commissioner Heinzerling.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item number 5, letter dated October 31, 2025, from Judge Mark Bronick, Chief Judge, 38th Judicial Circuit Court, and Judge William Paul Nichols, Adult Drug Treatment Court Judge, requesting approval to accept a grant award from the State Court Administrative Office for the grant period of October 1, 2025 through September 30, 2026 for funding of the Adult Drug Treatment Court in the amount of $83,000 with a general fund contribution in the amount of $698. This includes $400 for payroll processing costs that cannot be provided by the grant and will require an allocation of $100 in the 25 budget, with the remaining balance of $300 to be allocated in the 26 budget. Additionally, this total contribution includes an allocation of $134 in the 25 budget and $164 in the 26 budget. Could I get a motion?
So moved.
I'll second that.
Moved by Lamore, supported by Huffman. Questions on this motion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Commissioner Wenzel,
Yes.
Commissioner Swartout,
Yes.
Commissioner Moore,
Yes.
Commissioner Levens,
Yes.
Commissioner Hoffman,
Yes.
Commissioner Heinzerling,
Yes.
Commissioner Lamore.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item number 6, letter dated October 22, 2025, from Chief Deputy Mike Predmore, requesting approval to accept the FY 2026 McColl's Justice Training Grant Award in the amount of $21,009.35 with a minimum local match of 25% or $7,003.12. The match will be funded from the Sheriff's Office 26 budget. Could I get a motion?
Second.
Moved by Heinzerling, supported by Swartout. Are there questions on the motion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Commissioner Swartout,
Yes.
Commissioner Moore,
Yes.
Commissioner Levens,
Yes.
Commissioner Hoffman,
Yes.
Commissioner Heinzerling,
Yes.
Commissioner Lamore,
Yes.
Commissioner Wenzel.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item number 7, letter dated November 4, 2025, from Mr. Jason Berry, Community Planning and Engagement Director, requesting approval to accept a fiscal year 26 County Veterans Service Fund grant through the Michigan Veterans Affairs Agency in the amount of $67,048.06 to cover approved costs between October 1, 2025 and September 30, 2026. Accepting this grant obligates the Veteran Affairs Cost Center to cover $899 for the Veterans Coordinator General Liability Insurance, which is not allowable per the grant. The 2025 amount of $215 can be funded from the current budget funds. The 26 amount of $684 is requested to be included in the 26 budget. Could I get a motion?
So moved.
I'll second that.
Moved by Lamore, supported by Huffman. Questions on this motion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Commissioner Moore,
Yes.
Commissioner Levens,
Yes.
Commissioner Hoffman,
Yes.
Commissioner Heinzerling,
Yes.
Commissioner Lamore,
Yes.
Commissioner Wenzel,
Yes.
Commissioner Swartout.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item number 8, letter dated October 21, 2025, from Ms. Holly Flint, Community Corrections Coordinator, requesting approval to accept the FY 2026 Community Corrections Grant in the amount of $295,500 with an approximate local share of $132,512, with a 25% $33,878 included in the 25 budget, and the remaining 75% $101,634 requested to be included in the 26 budget. Could I get a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Moved by Huffman, supported by Lamore. Are there questions on the motion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Commissioner Levens,
Yes.
Commissioner Hoffman,
Yes.
Commissioner Heinzerling,
Yes.
Commissioner Lamore,
Yes.
Commissioner Wenzel,
Yes.
Commissioner Swartout,
Yes.
Commissioner Moore.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item number 9, letter dated October 17, 2025, from Ms. Donna L. Cootie, Monroe County Central Dispatch Director, submitting the reinstated intergovernmental communication tower site agreement with Lucas County, requesting approval for continued co-location of the county radio system equipment. Could I get a motion?
So moved.
I'll second that.
Moved by Lamore, supported by Huffman. Are there questions on this motion?
Just very quickly, I saw that we were handed one of the tower site agreements. Looks pretty standard, and it looks like from the last time, nothing's really changed. We're still just contributing, 50% to the maintenance and costs essentially, and sharing a site that's in Ohio, correct?
That's correct. There were a few changes to some of the maintenance costs that we would be sharing, but essentially the same 50%.
And you're happy with the arrangement?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hoffman,
Yes.
Commissioner Heinzerling,
Yes.
Commissioner Lamore,
Yes.
Commissioner Wenzel,
Yes.
Commissioner Swartout,
Yes.
Commissioner Moore,
Yes.
Commissioner Levens.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item number 10, letter dated October 17, 2025, from Ms. Donna L. Cootie, Monroe County Central Dispatch Director, submitting the Part 2 amended and restated final integration agreement, requesting approval to continue participation with the Michigan Public Safety Communication System. Could I get a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Moved by Levens, supported by Huffman. Are there questions on this motion?
I just want to say that Donna's doing a great job out there. She's running a tight ship. I know I sit in the meetings out there, and they're, between them and the officials, Troy runs the meeting, you're doing a great job.
Wonderful. Thank you. Any other comments or questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Commissioner Moore,
Yes.
Commissioner Levens,
Yes.
Commissioner Hoffman,
Yes.
Commissioner Heinzerling,
Yes.
Commissioner Lamore,
Yes.
Commissioner Wenzel,
Yes.
Commissioner Swartout.
Yes.
Motion carries.
We have no public hearings, so next we'll move into old business. Item 1, the MIDC Forensic Audit Informational Update. I'll turn it over to Vice Chair Levens.
So I had emailed earlier this week the preliminary update of that forensic audit. It's still ongoing. And so in summary, I just wanted to go over some of the preliminary findings. I believe our deputy clerk has provided a copy of that memorandum that's at everyone's kiosk. So Plant Moran has now provided a preliminary update of their ongoing forensic review of the county's Michigan Indigent Defense Commissioner, the MIDC payments. This audit covers legal invoices paid between January of 2023, current to June of this year. And this is the part, the troubling part, which is what found it where things are settled now, because their early findings confirm significant billing anomalies among certain attorneys paid through the MIDC program. 2 attorneys in particular stand out, and per the audit, they're identified simply as Attorney 1 and Attorney 2, so I'm going to borrow that numbering system. In some that is in that memorandum, it's indicated with more depth and detail that Attorney 1 was paid roughly $596,000 over a period of less than 2 years, billing more than 5,500 hours, or averaging about 56 hours per week, every week, including 81 weekends, and several days claiming 20 to 23 hours per work. And you'll indicate one of the concerns was this so-called block billing rounding up, if you will. And the audit has indicated that one day that was explained away that was 23.8 hours. After the block billing moved it, so now there's a 28-hour day. So apparently that was a very busy day for Attorney 1. Attorney 2 was paid $478,000 with similar irregular billing patterns. Over 113 weekend days, several 16-plus hour days, and work claimed on more than 80% of all days in the review period. And so here's what brought it to the board's attention. The reason for all the current controversy is the comparison. So the third highest paid assigned counsel on this MIDC received over just about $310,000, which would represent a sharp drop from the top 2 received of disproportionate shares of cases and compensation. So the Plant Moran analysis update they received raised the following concerns: that these invoices that they're reviewing included time for tasks that could not have occurred as billed. There were duplicate or inaccurate case numbers, block billing that combined work for multiple days into single entries, and rounding practices that inflated hours. The county's internal review and approval process failed to detect or question these issues before the payment went out. So putting them before us in breaching our fiduciary duty, ensuring that the claims that we're paying with the taxpayer dollars are fair and accurate. So importantly, the firm notes that additional documentation may be required from these attorneys themselves to reach final conclusions. So that being said, the proposed target completion date, and this is important, is December 19, 2025, before Plant Moran will complete their final forensic, before we know with more definitiveness that this is a concluded topic. So to date, their work validates our earlier concerns expressed and shows that the county's current review procedures may have been inadequate for the scale and complexity of the MIDC program. And so there's a lot of controversy. People are here and people are frustrated, and that is unfortunate. But I want to take a step back from these numbers and speak plainly. This didn't happen overnight. This isn't something that was just that last billing. We have been struggling with this process for over 2 years. It has tested our patience, our relationships, and our confidence in a system meant to safeguard public funds. From the beginning, I have sensed a lack of genuine cooperation from some of the stakeholders in this process. I have received personally, and members of this board as well, a tendency to downplay or dismiss these issues rather than confront them head on. And I have not been, a difference in that. I think everyone can share in that sentiment. I can't recall a single comprehensive report from our own financial leadership that has treated this matter with the seriousness it deserves. We're not talking about measly pennies here. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars, more than millions of dollars. And I'll note the issue that just came before us with the first district court magistrate position. The reason it came back, and you can look to Judge Brown's correspondence, he indicated in one of his concluding paragraphs that it was a challenge filling this position at the current wage of $38.50 per hour, and I quote, "The wages paid by the MADC have made it especially difficult as attorneys are able to make significantly more money taking these indigent cases," which raises the question of our fiduciary responsibility if these increased wages are reflecting accurate billing and review. That being said, I've been recently copied on communications indicating that we've seen that memo from early this spring from the stakeholders that there's things are fine, continue on. And I'm just going to conclude that this board is an oversight body, not a rubber stamp, and our fiduciary duty demands diligence and not complacency. Therefore, I ask that we delay payments during this time. I'm going to delay payments out of caution. And it's curious that all of our concerns that have stretched months and years have been, in whole part, ignored. But one claim period delay responded in an MID response within 24 hours. Yet invoices have arrived late for months without any urgency or accountability. And the public needs to know that our brief pause was not obstruction, but it's wise stewardship of the millions of dollars of taxpayer funds that come before us to make sure that they're properly being accounted for. And I'm aware that the Monroe News and the Toledo Blade have both reported this controversy on these claims. And I welcome that scrutiny because sunlight is the best disinfectant. And our job is not to avoid discomfort, but to protect the public trust. So I ask for the board's continued persistence in this, and it's going to be uncomfortable. And sometimes doing the right thing isn't easy, but I'm hoping that by the first week of December, we'll have the final conclusion for the forensic audit. We can address the shortcomings, handle any wrong acting, and move beyond this. Thank you.
Any commissioner comments?
I agree with Henry 100%. That's why I'm playing hardball too.
Commissioner Lamore.
Thank you. I just want to, a sad note here, announce the resignation of Paul Simonton due to health issues from the Aging Board, the Commission on Aging Board. And I will be looking for the next person to take his spot. So if anybody knows of anybody that is fit to do that position, please bring that to my attention. But he'll be sadly missed. His 19 years on the board has been, from what I understand, superior knowledge, helpful. I don't have enough adjectives to describe of his service to the county. So I wish him health in his upcoming days here, and you know, speedy recovery if that's possible. And we'll continue on with the pursuit of Commission on Aging with another person. So thanking him for his service is paramount, obviously, at this time, but obviously we're searching for his health at this time as well.
Thank you. I think we jumped into commissioner comments, but
Sure.
we've got, there's no new business other than this. We'll now move into the second segment of public comment.
Sean Myers, District 2. I spoke earlier. I was concerned at first during the vote on the bills that Mr. Levens and Mr. Hoffman both decided to vote no without commenting. I'm glad that you both got around to it eventually. I think that you left something out that is really important about the audit that you just mentioned. Neither of the two attorneys that you've mentioned, Attorney 1 and Attorney 2, remain on the MIDC list. They left the list months ago. What was done last meeting was a political stunt and not due to either of those attorneys' conduct. That's all. Thank you.
Any other citizens that wish to address the board?
Bill Lavoie, 225 Maywood, Monroe, Michigan. I'm intrigued by this idea of getting rid of the 911 assessment. It's kind of interesting whether you decide to drop it or to just 86 it all together, just get rid of it. That's kind of intriguing as far as a fiscal responsibility thing, especially in light of some of the discussions on millages and the rest that are going on in this community right now. Also, just a reminder, and I haven't been to many meetings recently, just no matter what the outcome of the election tonight, I still think there needs to be a more comprehensive ethics kind of policy or something that the board comes up with. Just my opinion. Thank you.
Any other citizens that wish to address the board? Seeing none, we'll continue with the commissioner comments. So there's no announcements. Commissioner Moore?
But just a few things. First, just to go back to 911 and make it clear, in no way am I unhappy with the performance over at 911 or don't support them. I think they do a phenomenal job, and I think it's extremely important that we have that service here in Monroe County. In fact, I haven't looked at it lately, but when I served on the board, we were one of the top-rated 911 units in the state of Michigan. So that I just want to make clear to the public and those watching, not saying it should be eliminated or pay cuts or anything like that. I'm just saying, just looking at the mechanism of funding and what we promised the taxpayers. That's the first thing. The second thing, I would like to respond to Mr. Myers. I don't know you, but I appreciate you coming up here and speaking your mind. And I was going to say a lot more, but I think what Commissioner Levens read took care of most of it. But to come in here at the top of the hour and to insinuate that commissioners are colluding, it's ignorant. And to be so emotional about something you have no knowledge of, you don't know what documents I've reviewed. You don't know what you haven't been here every 2 weeks for the last year and a half as we've been going through this. You don't know what attorneys we talked to. You don't know who we talked to at the state. And I would say, geez, I wouldn't want you to be my lawyer if that's the way you act in court when you come in half-cocked with no information. With that being said, I know there was no collusion because my no vote was made about 30 seconds before we took that vote, and it was in reference to someone I talked to in that office earlier that day. And it was to garner the attention of that department so we could have these discussions because it's been going on for a very long time. And everyone's saying, oh, it's okay. We removed this guy. Oh, now we're billing differently. It's a news story every couple months. My job as an elected official is to protect my constituents, to serve at their pleasure. I've had multiple calls on this. And you can come up here, call us names, throw accusations at us. But at the end of the day, I agree with Commissioner Levens on this. We don't agree a whole lot recently. Even when we agree, we don't seem to be on the same page. But I would like to see an end to this. We've been doing it a very long time. $580,000 in less than 2 years. I would come over and work indigent too if I could just click a bunch of emails and double bill and whatever. I'm not making any accusations, but that seems to be a lot of money for those hours worked. And with that being said, I think voting's closed right now, isn't it? 8 o'clock?
8 o'clock.
Never mind. Too late. Hope you voted. I was going to say go out and vote, but we went too long.
Commissioner Swartout.
I'll pass.
Commissioner Moore?
I voted yes to pay the bills. That's correct. I did vote yes. However, I am in unity with the commissioners that voted no as well. I too agree with them that there are too many problems in the billing, and I see the issues, and I have a problem with those things. Yes, I voted to pay the bills. Yes, because I know that there are other people that are dependent on those payments, and it also is making our county stronger by paying the bills, or weaker if we don't. So when we see these irregularities, it is our job up here to make sure that those irregularities stop. And if we don't stop them, then who does? We could just say that the state's just paying the money. That's great. Yeah, the state's paying the money. Yep, sure. It's our job to oversee how it's getting paid out. If we don't do our job, what are we getting paid to do up here? That's my final comment.
Commissioner Heinzerling. Commissioner Huffman.
Yeah, sometimes the ice is thin, but you got to step on it to protect all you folks out here. But I just want to say also, all the past that's going on, I mean, it's not gone. We all know what's going on and all the turmoil. And the funny thing that's going on now is hard to understand. But I will say one thing. The good will prevail and the evil will fail. I mean, all the past has got to meet to something. That's it.
Vice Chairman Levens.
I'm proud to defend the taxpayers, and if ruining my so-called reputation, as it may or may not be with the legal community, is the price for defending against waste and excess, let it be. I didn't become an attorney to be part of the problem. I wanted to be part of the solution. I'm going to do that. It's unfortunate that a few, in so many cases, damage the system for the whole, but as a fiduciary, I can't pass anonymous claims where I know now, especially reviewing this preliminary audit, that there has been financial mismanagement. And I will continue to be a no vote until I receive an audit that confirms everything is up to procedure and protocol and the taxpayer dollars are being properly utilized for actual claims and not rounding up and block billing. And candidly, this preliminary is indicating claims that were paid on court cases that didn't even exist. And so I'm glad to defend the taxpayers, and I'll continue to do it.
Thank you. Well, I concur with my colleagues on the board with the concerns we have with the assigned counsel system that we have right now through the MIDC. These are concerns that were brought up, and for me, when I got on the board almost 3 years ago, and I wanted to look at different systems. I requested that we look at some different systems. Never got a response regarding that. And then when we get these kinds of numbers, one of the other concerns I had, and this really hasn't been brought up, is when you are billing 23 hours plus a day, when you have 2 weeks worth of 20-hour days or 16-hour days, what kind of representation are you giving to the indigent, to the poor that can't afford to get another attorney because you have that many cases? I just don't know how you would be effective when you have when you're spreading your representation that thin. So that was a major issue with me. As we've continued to ask about this, the response we've received was, well, we're working on it. Some of a memo that went out by the county talked about different things, rounding up, block billing, trying to justify some of the 61-hour weeks that the assigned counsel were having on top of having their own private practices. We were given assurance probably 8 or 9 months ago, if not before that there were going to be new practices taking place. As a review took place, changes were made by the county office to practices, procedures related to assignment procedures, caseload distribution, billing software, and tracking monthly, along with reporting to the regional MIDC office. I don't see that happening, even to this day. And there was even a request when they were satisfied with their internal audit that we pay the bills. And that's when Vice Chairman Levin said, no, we're going to ask for a forensic audit to really find out about this. And of course, now we're finding out about it. And so I'm very underconfident in the current system. I think it needs leadership. It needs additional work. As part of the grant that we just voted on a couple of weeks ago, we are going to have a feasibility study that I hope the MIDC will take seriously and listen to our concerns. I agree with the frustration that Vice Chairman Levens had, that we've been talking about possible fraudulent behavior for 1.5 to 2 years. And when we finally have reached our wits' end and vote down paying the claims on this, that 2 days later we get a letter saying we're not in compliant from the MIDC. I mean, that's quite frustrating. So I share the sentiments of my colleagues on the board. We have to get this fixed. One final thing, and I did receive a response from 7 out of 8 commissioners regarding changing our dates for the final meeting in November. I think there's consensus that we could meet on what normally would be an agenda day on Thursday, November 13th, have a regular meeting. That's when Mr. Bosanic would come back with the 911 surcharge information, and we can discuss it then. And then be ready to vote on the budget for the upcoming year at a meeting on December 9th. If all goes well and nothing else comes up, we could handle all of our business for the month of December on that particular date, and not have any more meetings for December. So that's what I proposed. And if it seems like we have consensus on this, then Mr. Bosonic will send out a memo tomorrow.
I can do both those dates now.
Okay.
It's earlier in the 13th. It's going to be around the agenda meeting time.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm good then
All right.
for both dates. I don't know
Very
about
good.
everyone else.
All right. I have nothing more. Meeting adjourned.